Welcome everyone. Sorry of way far behind. What was started a long time, but I had some technical issues. I hope you can hear me. When you join in, let us know where you're joining us from. If you're watching this, um, what's it called? Hold on, sorry. This is feedback coming from. Okay. Mhm. Sorry, there was a feedback somewhere. Let's sort that out. Okay. We start in a second. All right. Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know where you're joining us from. Where you're watching from, especially those that watch. Um, Share those that watch later on. Let us know where you're joining us from. So today we're going to be discussing something that is very important to each and every one of us. You know, and I find very interesting and very a good topic. I think is a topic that we need to have a conversation about. So today our topic is our roots, our pride. Our roots, our pride. Our roots, our pride. Our roots, our pride. So just to welcome every one of you, our 46,000 of you that keep supporting this live stream every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. So we're far behind today. And to about 1,500 of you on Facebook that keep supporting this, a big thank you to you. To over 14,000 of you on Facebook that keep supporting this channel, thank you very much. To all of you, to over 10,000 of you on Instagram that keep coming in, thank you very much. I try my best to do this 7 p.m. UK time whenever I can. All right. All right. Before I go straight into it, please share this stream so that other people can be a part of it, and we share this stream. Follow me if you have not followed me before, and turn on your notification buttons. And I hope that whenever I go live, you can get to know about it. Please, I have a free ebook, Roadmap to Financial Freedom. I also have a paid ebook, Idea to Short-Lived Business. Do send us a DM and you can have access to them. If you want to have a 10-minute conversation, free call. I think someone called me. When was it? I think on Tuesday. We're talking about some concepts. Please feel free. 10 minutes can go a long way. Into for free can go a long way into having an idea on what you're talking about. Thank you very much, Digital Police. Oh, so yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Please join this live stream. If you want to join our community, let me know. I'm writing a book called The Migration Mirage. If you're interested, soon I'll have a page out so more people can join and follow to know when, to keep updates on, to know, what's it called? What's the word? The Migration Mirage, Why Nations Lose Tomorrow and Lineages Fade. So soon there'll be a website so you can join the waiting list and to keep you updated what's happening. Please check out my page. It's Onyekwelu ILOGE on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or wherever. So there's a lot of stuff, especially on YouTube. We have short films, we have episodes like this. You can watch them over again. We have other conversations. Well, be it short, long, check it out. Okay. This live stream is sponsored by The Things You Love, The Hair You Love, This is 10 Homes, and Love Family Podcast. So I'll talk more about collaborations and anything if you have done. So for companies that have not responded to you, I'm really sorry. I'll try to respond as soon as I can, please. The whole idea of doing this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, is to stir up a dissatisfaction in your spirit, man. To awaken those possibilities that exist. To bring out the best in you. So it's I like the scriptures that says, "I've seen servants walk on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants." That's Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7. That keeps me going. I'm not a guru, and I always say that, and I'll never appear to be one. I'm not a guru, and I don't like. I always teach the little things that Christ has done in my life. I'm here to provide guidance that I desperately needed, but never got. It's been talking to my 5-year-old self, talking to my 10-year-old self, talking to myself. That's basically what I do. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me just sort this out. I don't know why this is something like this. Okay, yeah. So it's like just like me talking to myself, all right? So as I'm sharing with you, these are I wish that things I knew like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. These are things that I wish I knew. So I'll keep sharing those things, and I wish I knew and no one told me. That's why I'm here to share. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm more like talking to myself. Okay, yes, let's go on. So last week we talked about family, our roots, our identity. This week we talk about our roots, our pride. So we start in this manner. We live in an age of cultural imitation. Migration and globalization has exposed Africans to different cultures, languages, lifestyles, and values. Exposure itself is not the problem. I never said that. We should learn from whatever societies that do well, which is absolutely encouraged. The danger begins when admirations become imitation, and imitation become rejection of self. Sometimes what is Western is automatically considered modern, while what is African is labeled as backward. We can become so eager to fit into another man's house that we begin to rearrange our own identity. These are points or conversations that we need to have and things to say. Thank you very much, Tochukwu. Very much. Thank you for joining. All right. For some Africans, success means looking like Africans. We sometimes measure progress by how far we have moved away from our roots. An African accent may be deliberately suppressed, while a Western accent becomes a badge of achievement. Let us know where you're joining us from, guys, be it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please share this as well so more people can be a part of it. All right. Traditional names may be shortened, changed, or avoided because they are considered too difficult. I get that a lot for my children. I get that for my name. Thank you very much, Brenda. Thank you very much. I get that for my name. I get that for my children's name and what have you. Thank you very much, Roms. Thank you very much, Zizi and Osman. Thank you very much. As many of you that send a message. Thank you. So African clothing can be reserved for weddings and cultural celebrations, while Western dress becomes the unquestioned norm. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Manuel. Thank you. Indigenous languages can disappear within one generation of migration when parents stop intentionally passing them on. There's nothing wrong with adopting, no, but adoption should add to your identity, not erase it. We sometimes seek validation from outsiders, respectfully. This is speaking to especially those Nigerians or Africans or people back home. I'm also speaking to people in the diaspora. Something African may be ignored until the Western world celebrates it. African food becomes more desirable when an international chef praises it, or when you see someone talk about put it on their status, or celebrity talks about, or he tried that jollof rice, or he tried a gucci soup or something like that. People start celebrating it. Why wait till someone else starts celebrating it? African food, like I talked about, African music becomes more prestigious after global recognition. Some people maybe never celebrated Afrobeat until what's his name? That young boy, the Barcelona guy. I forgot his name. 16-year-old boy. Step played scales music. Some people might. That's when they start being proud of it. Some people also maybe when their colleagues start playing it or something, they start being proud of it. African fashion became luxurious when an international celebrity wears them. Why wait for people to do that? We should ask ourselves, why must someone else discover the value of what we already ourselves we already have ourselves before? Why wait to someone else values it? That's basically what I'm trying to say. So the diaspora has a lot of role to play in this. They can intensify this pressure. Africans abroad naturally want to belong in a new society. Children especially do not want to appear different among their peers. Parents may therefore reduce cultural practices because they fear their children will struggle to integrate. Over time, the family can gain acceptance but gradually lose language, stories, custom, history, and memory, and what connect them to ancestral communities. The tragedy is not that the children become either British, American, or Canadian, or wherever they find themselves. The tragedy is that when they believe they must reject being African is in order to belong is where the issue is. Now I find that a lot as someone that work with young people I think next year will make about 19 or 20 odd years that I've worked with young people. So I get that a lot. The sense to want to belong. I'll touch more about it. So sometimes we teach our children, we teach our children embarrassment without realizing it. What do our children repeatedly hear about us when we talk about where we come from, be it Kenya or Zimbabwe or whatever? The country is useless. We make comments like it's useless. Nothing works in this country. Thank God we escaped. Don't behave like that. You can call them the country. Then years later, you wonder why they don't have interest in their heritage. A child cannot easily take pride in a root that parents consistently ridicule. This is very, very important. It could be you might not even be in the diaspora. It could be in your country and still talk bad about where you come from. What you talk bad about, your children will never value. We confuse modernization with westernization. African absolutely needs progress, yes. Strong institutions, yes. Better education, yes. Technology, infrastructure, and accountable leadership, yes, we do. But development does not require cultural disappearance. It is important that we bear this in mind. A society can become technologically advanced without being culturally anonymous. This is very, very important. We should take what works from everywhere while retaining what is valuable from ourselves. Modernization asks, how can I improve? Westernization can become. How can we become like them? These are different questions that we should bear in mind. The fact that you want to learn from different parts of the world doesn't mean that you throw yours away. So the real question to ask yourself, me, I'm asking you, I'm asking myself, is what? We should not ask our children merely to remember where we come from. No. We must give them something about where you come from that they can genuinely respect, understand, and participate in. I'll give you an example. I'll use myself so that people can understand, My son knows where his apparels are. Where his what's it called? Where his beads. If people that see my son in church, they understand it. They will understand it better. His beads, or if you watch my status, you can see his beads, his hand gears, his hat. He knows where it is. So on Sunday, when he goes to choose which of the garments that look like this that I've made for him, or whenever he'll just go straight to the room, take his hat, put it on, put his necklace on, put his watch on, and put his beads on, Nigerian Igbo beads. You put them on, and off he goes. I don't need to tell him, because I've shown him things to respect. When I shake my son the way an Igbo man will shake, he's proud of that shake. He's proud of the title or the names that I give to him, that value. When he goes back home, he understands, he appreciates it because he's welcome. That when I mean going back home, he's going back to Nigeria or where we come from. It's important. You need to teach your children the language. You need to explain the meaning of their names. Yes, that's one thing. And my son's name, for instance, means Chimelimiche. Means God made me uniquely. The same thing my daughter. They all have unique names that you'd never find anywhere else in the world. So I intentionally give them those names with meaning. Teach them the meaning of their names. Tell them stories about their family. Tell them, my dad has been here before. My dad is coming here by the grace of God. We have a podcast with my dad. So my children watch and they tell the stories about it. Even when they see my parents, they take out time to sit down and have conversations with them. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why was different things? Tell them stories about your family. Take them home where possible. We touched on that already. If you can, it's expensive. Take them home. Introduce them to their grandparents. I think I watched a movie or so. Some people don't want to introduce their children to their parents. The choice is yours. Introduce them to your extended family. I'm going to touch more on that. Show them the African or the Nigerian excellence. Nigeria has excellence. Ghana has excellence. Zimbabwe has excellence. Ethiopia has excellence. Show it to them. Ubeka, thank you very much. Let them see us contributing towards making our community better. Like I said to you, for instance, my daughter, 10-year-old, in her 10th birthday, I said to her, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a party or do you want to do a legacy project? She said, you want to do a legacy project. I said, okay, let's ask them. They asked her, says, they want us to help them furnish some schools back in our community, my village where I come from. And I told my daughter, this is what you need to do. And she did it. So let them see you, because my children have seen us, me and my wife, share toys for over how many years? About 8 years now. So they don't know anything other than. So before you know anything, my son comes and says, I think it's time for us to select some of the toys you don't need. This is how I should go for our children. That's what you say. If the students, let them see you do those kind of things, and it can make a lot of difference. You can live in Britain or London or wherever you live without being ashamed of being from Kenya or being from Zimbabwe. No. You can hold another country's passport without surrendering your heritage. You can embrace what is good in another man's culture without suppressing or despising your own. You can correct what is wrong with your country while still loving where you come from. It's very important. So if you are not proud enough to preserve your roots, do not be surprised when your descendants no longer recognize them. So preserve your roots. Thank you very much. Preserve your roots. So by way of definition, without assuming that we all have this, I like to define the terms that I use for discussion. So the word roots, according to the dictionary, means the origin or the source of something. We touched on this last week, but I'll touch again quickly. A person or family, ethnic, cultural, or historical origin. That's word root can also mean part of a plant that anchors it and provides nourishment. I touched on this last week, and I'll touch on it again. It anchors it, one, and it provides nourishment. I love it. I love that point. So for instance, it can also define a root refers to someone's ancestry, family lineage, homeland, language, culture, tradition, history, and inherited values that connect them to their previous generation. Don't forget that. In a sense, our roots explains where we come from. If you don't hear everything, hear that one. It explains where we come from. Please, guys, let us know where you're joining from. And even if you're watching this later, still do the same. Our pride. What does that mean? It means the word our means belonging to us collectively. It's us. The word pride means a feeling of dignity, satisfaction, and value in who we are. So in other words, our pride is the collective dignity and satisfaction we have in who we are, where we come from, and what we represent. It is not superiority over others. I'm going to touch on that. I hope I have fine time. It is not refusing to be ashamed. It is refusing to be ashamed of ourselves. That's what it is. It's not that saying that we're better than these people. No. It is refusing to be ashamed of ourselves. So in a sense, our roots, our pride, can be seen as knowing where you come from, valuing it, and being confident in it, and refusing to be ashamed of it. I take that again. One is knowing where you come from. The other one is valuing it, and being confident in it, and refusing to be ashamed of it. That's very, very important. Our roots is our origin, our heritage, our history, our culture, our identity. Our pride is the dignity and the value we attach to those roots. All right? So, after we're done with defining all these terms, why are people not proud of their roots or where they come from? Why? One, it could be, I might have touched on some of this, I'm just going to touch on them. They have been conditioned to see others as better. Years of colonial influence, global cultural dominance can shape what people associate with success and sophistication. That is it. When another person's culture becomes your standard, your own gradually begin to look inferior. It is a conditioning of the mind by virtue of the things you've watched, the programs you've watched. That's why when you watch, I think it was Chimamanda Adichie that said in her book, Americana, it touches on these things. She said she grew up reading books, and it's true. Lady Bird, this, that, all these things condition the mind and the way a child perceives the world. So our minds have been conditioned, and gradually we begin to not appreciate our roots. Next, another reason is that they associate their roots with failure. People do that because of the corruption or poverty or insecurity or poor leadership or different things that people experience or wherever they come from or where your parents come from. They begin despising their roots because they confuse the failures of a system with the worth of a people. It shouldn't be so. The next reason is that they desire to belong. The desire to belong becomes stronger than identity. When belonging requires hiding who you are, acceptance can slowly become self-erasure. So the fact that you want to follow, you want to be like where you come from, you want to sound British, or you want to sound American, or you want to sound German, the choice is yours. I'm just only pointing out some of the reasons why people don't like to be proud of their identity or their roots. The next thing is that they know little about their own story. It's very, very important. When you don't know your story or you don't know who your people are, I always say this. I say, how is it that we have land and all these things? I don't know about Western world, but I say to myself, I'd love to know the minds of my forefathers or my ancestors to the point that they were so wealthy that they kept lands for us. I said to myself, you see that they came and they just said to myself, said, I'm going to take this place. You take that place. I'm going to take here. I want these 3 hectares. Or did they buy those things? There are questions to ask. There are questions to ask. You don't know your own stories. Somebody, my bishop always say, if you don't know who you are, someone else will tell you who you are not. If you don't know where you're going to, everywhere you get to will look like it. Many know about Western histories, celebrities, cultures than the history of themselves. Have you asked yourself how you guys arrived where you are? Why are you Nigerian? These are questions. I don't know how many people that know that Nigeria was once upon a time never a country. It was formed, made one country by the British. How many of us still have those issues? Have you told your children those things? Do your children know your language? Do they know your tribe? They don't understand the difference? Or they just say Nigeria? The choice is yours. I had some teenagers yesterday who arguing, no, I'm from Edo State. And I was saying, we don't have Yoruba people in Edo State. I was saying to them, yes, there are some Yoruba people in Edo State. This is things you need to teach your children, to understand our uniqueness. Yes, we're all unique in language, but also we all have something to offer each other, right? Sometimes people are not ashamed because their roots lack value. They are ashamed because nobody showed them the values of their roots. We have values, we have something to offer. Before asking why someone is not proud of their roots, ask what story about those roots they were taught to believe. The choice is yours. So I'm going to touch on some scenarios that might be helpful. So some people might not understand what is being said. So some of these stories, some of these scenarios might be able to help the conversation. If you like what you're watching, please tap on the screen, share this live stream so more people can be a part of it. Most of you that watch this after, please still do the same thing, share it because you have more people watch this after than when it's streamed live, all right? Okay. Some of the things like name. Name is one of the main things. Name. What is your real name? Or I think somebody said what, like they look at the color of your skin and they ask you their name and they expect something. There's a name they expect, but you don't say that. You could say Kelvin, you could say Michael, you could say Elizabeth or something. They ask they want another name, which because of experience they have that. If you are proud of where you come from as a Nigerian or a Ghanaian or wherever, your traditional name confidently introduces themselves just by saying it. It explains its meaning. When you explain the meaning when you ask it, and you patiently teach them how to pronounce it. I'm not ashamed of my name. My name is Onyekwelu. And I say to people, if you say to me, your name is too long, I say to you, my name is easier than saying Martina Labratulova. My name is easier than saying Connecticut. My name is easier than saying Cincinnati or Mississippi. My name is easier than saying some Welsh words or saying some places. So it's entirely how you make people feel. My name is just 3 syllables. Onyekwelu. Easy. Breakdown. My daughter's name is Onyechike Wapuru. When you say to people, they're like, no. It's too loud. It's too long. Does he have anything shorter? She doesn't have a short form. If you watch my streams, I always talk about it. Her name is Onye. You are who you say you are. When you are proud of your name, you say confidently. You tell people, teach people how to say it. But if you're not proud of your name, in this case, you hide it. Without due respect to people. I'm very honest to people. Some people, when they meet me, they say to me, for instance, my name is Nnamdi. When they meet someone that is Caucasian or something, they say to us, oh, my name is John. Why? And they say, why? Just be yourself. Be yourself. Just say it as it is. And it has affected some of our parents to the point that they put their child, they put a British man's, an English name or whatever, as the first name of the child, and put the child's Nigerian name or Ghanaian name or Ethiopian name as a second name. I don't know about Ethiopia, I don't know about Ghana. Now, it happens to Ghanaian people, I think, too. But it happens a lot in Nigeria. You see them say that, oh, that's my second name. No. Matter of fact, I don't even have an English name. My children don't either. So is that being proud of where you come from? Because I've never seen a British man ask an Igbo name, Yoruba name. If they do now, just maybe by trend, but be proud of who you are. All right. So if everybody else can teach the world to pronounce their names, why must you disappear to make others comfortable? When you come to Nigeria, you please them. When they will come to UK, you please them. Man, what's all this? You understand me? You have come to Nigeria, you are being hospitable. Now, when they come here, they should be hospitable. Teach them your name, teach them your values. When I was in university and I hosted Caucasian people or British people, I cooked for them a goosey soup and a bono soup. I said to them, this is how we eat the food. I'm very honest. I even have a video of it on YouTube. I do a lot. And I said to them, we eat it with our hand. You have to wash your hand, wash your hand, and this is how we do it. And I take it and if it's a goosey I made that day or bono soup, I make that day. I'll turn it like this and say, this is how we eat it. Be proud of who you are. I can't say this enough. As in like trying to belong or trying to, you get the fork and don't get me wrong, you can eat your food with cutlery, more than that. But if it's the one that your people eat it with their hand and they enjoy it, so be it. I can imagine eating it with a fork and knife. When you're supposed to wash your hand and enjoy it. I love it when the Indian people, Bangladesh, Pakistani, when they enjoy their food, they are proud of it. Be proud of your own. All right. Another test is what the child test. What you are passing on. As a diasporan parent, you're raising children who may be proudly British, American, or whatever it is, while also known by their names, where they come from, family history and relatives. There are people like that. When I can call myself in that category, not that I'm trying to blow my own trumpet, but those around me know. I'm big on being where I come from, Nigeria. I'm precisely Igbo. And so I'm very big on that. I don't even, do you know that sometimes I come to when I'm talking to my children in front of their teacher, I forget that the teacher is there and I still do talk the same way I would talk at home and everything. I have to remind myself, maybe the teacher might be wondering what this guy is saying to these children. So if you are proud of what you do, you will teach your children that value. But people that are not proud, they teach the children everything required to succeed in their new country, but almost nothing about where their family came from. Eventually, they say, oh, Nigeria or whatever has nothing to do with me. That's what the children will say. When you ask them, where are you from? Also, my parents are Nigerians, but I'm British. Because those things were not taught properly. When you speak to my children today, ask them where you're from, clearly they would mention my village, not even in a village. You understand me? Before they can now tell you, oh, if you say where's that, they'll tell you Nigeria. You say where that, they'll tell you it's Enugu State. Thank you very much, John Mama. So it's very, very important. Another test is what? The success test. Someone becomes educated, wealthy, and internationally successful, yet still speaks positively about their origin, visits, maintains relationships, and uses some of their knowledge or resources to improve where they come from. That is you being proud of where you come from. But if you're not proud of where you come from, you are still successful, but you begin to distance yourself from everything associated with your home. Your accent begins to change. Your people, your community, eventually, even your identity, as though success means proving that they have escaped their roots. The choice is yours. This is a test. Some people are like that. Because they managed to migrate all their family out of Nigeria or from Ghana or from everywhere, to them, the place can burn. They don't care. A true test of being proud of your identity, proud of your roots, is that irrespective of how successful you are, you're still proud of where you come from. You're very proud of. I think who was it? I think it was Wyclef. I was watching him on a podcast, and he said he went to pick up an award, a Grammy award, and he had a Haitian flag with him on his back. And I think a child from Bob Marley's child had a Jamaican flag. How many of you with that kind of success? You know what it means? The multi-Grammy award winning artist, a talking about Wyclef Jean. If you don't know him, please look him up. He's very popular. Some of the songs you listen to, I can name them: Whitney Houston, Your Love Is My Love, Wyclef Jean, Destiny's Child. No, 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 no. Destiny's Child is when Beyonce used to be there. Wyclef Jean. You want me to go on and on? Fugees, the Fugees, where you had Wyclef Jean, Praswell, and him, and Lauryn Hill. That group, Killing Me Softly, Wyclef Jean. Can you imagine having that kind? I can go on. He's produced songs for Michael Jackson. I can go Mary J. Blige, Carlos Santana, Maria. Imagine someone of that acclaimed height. Still, he was raised and brought up in America. Still, he's carrying a flag of a very poor country. Haiti is one of the poorest countries you can think of on this earth. Still, he's carrying that flag. It's a thought for us to all consider. That irrespective of success, be proud of where you come from. Another cost test is a problem test. What do you do when home disappoints you? A person sees corruption, poor infrastructure, or harmful cultural practices, and they say this is wrong. What can we learn from elsewhere? What can I do to help change it? Is it truth? I was watching a podcast, guys said it. It's all about perspective, where you come from. If you are proud of where you come from, you're thinking, how can we solve this? Just like our Pan-Africanist, our number one, the richest black person on earth, Dangote. He could have taken his money, left the country, bought assets across the world, bought different football clubs. There are rumors of him trying to buy Arsenal. He could do all that. But the pride in where he come from is the reason why he keep investing his money there. And we need to do the same. We need to follow suit. And it's no wonder he's the richest black person on earth. So, but someone else that has such kind of success will say, oh, these problems, everything about this country is useless. They don't even think I need to go somewhere. Nothing good can come out of this place. It's all about your perspective. Pride does not mean pretending your roots are perfect. Nobody said that. Pride means believing that they are worth correcting, developing, and preserving. So I hope that I've been able to open our thoughts and our minds to what I mean by our pride, so that we're able to see ourselves in it. Hopefully, everyone listening, watching, we can learn from the things I've said today, all right? The true test of pride in your roots is not how loudly you celebrate them when they are fashionable, no, but whether you still identify with them when they are inconvenient, criticized, or imperfect. That's it. Are you going to be proud of your country when it's making bad and the headlines about it is bad? Or are you going to only celebrate your roots when everything about it is trending? The choice is yours. What does it mean to have pride in your roots? Touch on this briefly. It's to know your roots. You cannot be proud of what you don't know. So it's important that you know it. And if you don't teach your children, they will never know it. Pride begins with knowledge. You cannot value a story you have never learned. Another thing is to own that roots. Never be ashamed of where you come from. Never be ashamed of where you come from. I love the way the Jamaicans do it. They even have, they even put paraphernalia of their stuff on their car. They can't hide it. You understand it? Be proud of it. You don't have to make your roots smaller to fit into someone else's world. Why? Why should you? Will they do the same thing? Will they do the same thing? Preserve your roots is the next thing. Why? What you don't pass on may end with you. So heritage is not inherited automatically. Somebody must intentionally pass it on. I talk on this all the time. Another thing is to contribute to your roots. Pride must produce responsibility. The greatest evidence that you are proud of your roots is not what you wear. It is what you are willing to do for them. And I'm very proud of where I come from. My community feels that pride, in it. They know, I'm not just talking, they understand it. So in order to wrap it, you need to know your roots, you need to own your roots, you need to preserve your roots, and to contribute to your roots. Our roots tell us where we come from. Our pride determines whether what we inherited survives through us. So bear those in mind. I like to touch on this, and it's very important. I got to know about this when I was in university. It's called Americanization of the world. Americanization of the world. What is that? I'm sure, I don't know if some people know that this theory exists, but I hope that by hearing what I'm going to say, your mind, it's called, I know that I've forgotten the terminology, it's called retinal something. When you want to buy a car, let's say for instance, Honda Accord, from that time now, you start seeing Honda Accords everywhere. I've forgotten the terminology. If anybody knows what it is, put it in the comment section, please. Retinal something, I've forgotten what it's called. or when you want to buy a particular shoe, you start noticing it from then on. All this while it's ever existed. So I hope that as I touch on this theory, you now begin to become cautious of what has been intentionally done over time. So what is Americanization? In my university, it was called Americanization of the world. Americanization describes the spread of American culture, values, products, lifestyle, and way of thinking in other societies. Scholars often discuss it alongside cultural globalization and the globalization of influence of US media and consumer culture. America became more than a country, it became a cultural exporter. That's by way of Hollywood, the television, the popular music, the fast food, the fashion, digital platforms help spread America's culture and symbols globally. So I think there's a sociologist called George Whitsey. The idea of McDonaldization describes how principles are associated with fast food systems, efficient, predictable, calculatable, and controlled, spread into wider social life. So next thing is about Americanization is that the influence can become so norm, we stop seeing it. That's it. Jeans. People wear jeans every day. Burger, Hollywood films, American slangs, entertainment can become ordinary part of life of thousands of people miles away from America. This is part of the broader debate around cultural homogenization, whether globalization can make cultures increasingly similar, often under the influence of powerful cultural producers. So the question here for me and you is that when everybody begins looking, speaking, and consuming and aspiring in a similar ways, what happens to what made each other people distinct? That's important. And I think I watched a program, I forgot what it is, but it's on Netflix, and I wish I keep all these names. Talking about the times when, after the independence in America, when they were trying to settle us, and how some of the originals or the initial settlers, they don't like to be called Red Indians. So how do I move their way and from their land? And I love a lot of things that was shared. So they were not happy because their ancestors were buried on those lands. And they were saying, do you mean that we're going to leave our ancestors? Even when their elders agreed for them to move, the younger ones were not happy about it. So there's something that makes us distinct, each and every one of us. The fact that you migrate or move around does not mean that you throw away the things that you should be proud of. It's very important. So touching on Americanization again, is learning from America is not a problem. I always say that. Societies have borrowed ideas from one another. Even America too was once upon a time British in a sense. Africa should, or Nigeria, or Africa should learn from America's innovation. Yes, entrepreneurship, research, technology, and other strengths, just as we should learn from successful practices elsewhere. We can learn from China, we can learn from South Africa, we can learn from Zimbabwe, we can learn from different, it's not a problem. But learning is different from surrendering your own identity. That's two different things. So take whatever makes you better without automatically discarding what makes you you. My problem is discarding your own. A lot of people discard their own. That's it. That's a problem. They discard their own. Another thing about Americanization is that this is where our roots and our pride matters. Globalization means our children will encounter powerful cultures. Yes. Our responsibility is not to isolate them from the world, but to give them strong enough roots to enter the world without disappearing into it. So having said this, these are my proposals. This is what I'm proposing. Now, so I might say my own country, you can put your own country in the picture. I would say Nigerianization of the world. Since there's a theory called Americanization of the world, this is intentionally pushed in the media, pushed in everywhere. I would say sell your own country, and if you call it, it can become Ghananization of the world. It can be Zimbabweanization of the world. It can be Tunisianization, or whatever it is your country is. This is my own proposal to everyone. A concept of our roots, and our roots are pride. How can you do that? By exporting your own culture. Yeah, that's it. You don't consume other people's culture. Imagine Nigerian food. Yes, we're talking about jollof rice today. The fashion, like we wear. I love it when I saw TD Jakes. TD Jakes, I think I watched his documentary or interview, said he's checked his heritage and he found out that he's 50% Nigerian and Igbo, to be precise. You know, it's amazing. And he's changed his outfit. He wears things like this and puts on his Igbo hat. He finds it amazing. Celebrate where you come from, your fashion, through the music. A lot has been done by music, be it gospel artists, be it secular art, be it Afrobeat, amazing. The languages as well. I love it when I see on social media people are trying hard to teach their children or celebrating on social media about their languages. Do the same thing. Through our literature. I love it when somebody tells me about Chinua Achebe's book, Things Fall Apart, or when I went to the school my daughter wanted to go into, I think it was in Chelmsford, girls' grammar school, and I saw that they were part of their study was Chimamanda's book. I love it. Celebrate your traditions, you know, Afrobeat, Nollywood, or has already demonstrated that Nigerian culture and products can travel beyond Nigeria. It's amazing. Now, I think it was TD Jakes was saying it. When you turn on Netflix, you type and you see Nigerian movies all there. Celebrate where you come from. He said that with that, they in different parts of the world are able to understand the Nigerian culture by watching Nigerian movies. Let the Nigerian movies not be changing from trying to be Western. Let the Nigerian music or Ghanaian music stop in your dress code, in the kind of music. Let's keep that identity in it. Let's be proud of it. So Nigerianization says don't only consume global culture, continue your Nigerian, contribute your Nigerian culture to the world. The next way to do that is what? By making our identity something others want to experience. Very important. Americanization, that's the Americans, they succeeded partly because their culture traveled through entertainment, brands, media, and lifestyle. So our own culture and pride grows when we stop treating our heritage as something to hide and start presenting it in the best confident way for the world. You know, next thing is to export our values and ideas, and not just entertainment. You know, yes, you should go beyond Afrobeat, go jollof rice, traditional clothes, and export our entrepreneurship. I was talking to a guy from Zimbabwe. What day was that? I think it was on Thursday, and I was telling him about a part of what there's an apprenticeship scheme the Igbo people of Nigeria do they call it Iba Boy, that has also been studied in Harvard University. You know, and you'll say, yeah, that's a really amazing. You heard about it, and the world needs to know about it, which is truth. We need to celebrate that. We need to tell the world about it. I love the fact that Nollywood has tried to capture it in a movie or captures it in the movies. The world needs to know how many people in this world, how many communities in this world will tutor or mentor somebody for 7 years, and not just mentor the person. They give the person what is called a seed to start with. Money to go and start up their own. In some cases, they even leave them with contacts that they've been working on while they were working for their master. That is something that the world needs to emulate. That's something that we need to be proud to tell the world. We need not to be ashamed. A civilization becomes influential when the world consumes it, not only its products, but also its ideas. So that's an example of the things, our values and export we need to share. Our values, the way we respect our elders, we need to share it to the world. The way we respect our parents, we need to say it to the world. Sell it to the world. The way we respect even people we don't know. Say hello to people. Say hi to people that you don't even know, just by greeting them. It needs to be sold to the world. The next thing is what? The turn of to turn diaspora Nigerians into cultural bridges. You know, I love it. Somebody sent me an article, or I came across an article on my LinkedIn saying about Nigerians being one of the most still blazing the trail when it comes to academical pursuits in America, which is amazing. Even Barack Obama has affirmed that as well. You know, wherever you live, be it as Nigerians or Ghanaians, wherever you live in London or Tokyo or Toronto or Berlin, wherever it is, the ultimate thing is not forcing. I'm not saying you should force your culture to people. No, it is making the best of your wherever you come from valuable enough that the world is willing to embrace it. That's it. You are too good at what you do that people don't know when they just want to deal with. They just love everything about you. That's it. We need to sell ourselves to the world. Be it Nigerianization of the world, Ghananization of the world, Ethiopianization of the world, whatever it is, we need to do that. So, in one sentence, Nigerianization of the world is the intentional export of the best of our culture, our values, our creativity, our ideas and identities to the world, rather than allowing globalization to be a one-way street in Ghana, in Nigeria, wherever it is. So I hope that helps you. As I wrap this up, I want you to bear this in mind, and I hope we'll learn a thing or two. Who benefits when you become ashamed of your own? That's a question to ask yourself. Could pride in our roots also influence who receives our money, attention, and admiration? I love it. There's a lady I follow on TikTok, on Instagram. She's of the opinion that before your money it's important that you look within the community, African Americans, and ensure that your money circulates within the community before you go somewhere. She said that some communities do that. I think she pointed Jewish people, I don't know. How many people in your community have benefited from your patronage? It's very important. Who benefits when you become ashamed of your own? This is important. Next thing is, what if your ancestors had made your choice? What if? Are you enjoying an inheritance you are unwilling to preserve for somebody else? What if the people before us, much of what we now call your heritage, would never have reached you if your ancestors were not proud of what they were doing? It's important that we are proud of it. Next thing is that who gets to decide what is sophisticated? That's the annoying part of the matter. You see Indian people, their English is not amazing, but they speak it that way. When you call Tree-Mobile, for instance, now, an Indian man will speak the way he's speaking and be telling you, yes, what is that? Is it a Samsung Ultra 33? Yes, I can help you. Check, this is the problem you have to do. They understand. Don't get me wrong, some of them have picked up a British accent, nothing wrong with it, but be proud of it. Are your tastes genuinely yours, or have you simply inherited somebody else's definition of what is desirable? Because somebody mocked you when you explained, you said your name, therefore you don't want to tell another person your name anymore. Or somebody mocked you because of the way you look. Or somebody mocked your food. I remember a lady that said she cooked a pot of soup and put it in a container and left it and went to the room and came back. She was living in a shared house. By the time she came back, the housemate had put the food in the bin. You know, some people might, out of that, become more ashamed to cook another one. Why? I think that lady said she really told that person off and say, you dare not try that thing next time. Next time. Why? Who determines who is more sophisticated? Who? I was listening to Wyclef. You're saying that his album has Afrobeats in it. Now it's more trending to have Afrobeat artists in the albums. Look at it, Shakira. Do you think that is because Burna Boy is singing like Michael Jackson? It's the trend. You understand me? It's a trend. When you see the streams of Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid, and go on Kiss Daniel, all of them, when you see their streams, you can't help but want to attach yourself to that success. So Wyclef was saying that I've already started featuring Nigerian artists before Afrobeat became trending. And it was true. The days of when he used to come to Nigeria, long time ago, Two-Face, South Sultan, and others he featured, he used to come and perform. I remember those days. I think it was Star Lagabia will bring them to Nigeria. So these are very, very valid things that we need to be. Who determines sophistication? Be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. The next thing is, what if Africa became the place people wanted to imitate? What if your country becomes the place people want to? Now you go somewhere, the video has a show, a lot of people are there. Now you're in a train. Yes, different country. Somebody's reading Chimamanda's book. It's amazing. Why? Imagine Nigerian cities, African cities, or Ghanaian cities, institutions, universities, businesses, art, communities. Imagine that is now a place people want to imitate. It's because you are proud of it. Instead of merely asking the world to respect our roots, what are we building that will make future generations proud to claim it. So think about it. It's all in your hands and in my hands. What we make of it. So another thought is what? I think I touched on it. When your children, some people isolate their children from their community. They don't want them to deal with their relations. I understand. They don't want. They live in an area where they don't have people of the same race or whatever it is. They just don't want to do anything. Some people don't even want to do anything with where they come from. The choice is yours. It's up to you what you want to do, how you want to live your life, but it will show. When your children hang around different. I grew up. My father always took us to the community meetings of where I come from, and it really helped me and shaping who I am. Even though majority of the things I know about my culture was not even in where I come from. I learned it from another town, northern Nigeria. That's where we grew up. Because my dad, in our home, was my mini community. When we go out to meet a friend, it was another same community. When we had events, same community. That exposure kept helping and kept shaping and kept helping me, my siblings. So I don't know how else to assure you, be proud of who you are. Then, for me, Christ makes all the difference. You know, Bible says in Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, we're made in the image and the likeness of God. That where I come from is not determined. I think my identity or me, my pride is not determined by somebody's perception. It's determined by how I see who I am. And my son's name is Chimelemiche. That God made me uniquely. That in itself is a thing of pride or joy. You know, that I'm unique. Bible says I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Why will I be aspiring to be somebody else? Yes, I love what they do. Why will I abandon my own? When God, Bible says, we are God's craftsmanship made. God sat down. The way I explain to young people, I say, God sat down, took away all the distractions, decided that we're going to make you, and gave it his best shot to produce you. But instead, and give you the identity and the image and everything, but we rather throw our own away and grab another person's own. It's a food for thought. Be proud of your roots. Being proud of your roots should never mean worshiping your culture. No. It means refusing to despise yourself while allowing Christ to correct whatever is your culture that is contrary to him. It's very, very important. So I hope that I learned a thing or two, taking my time to share honors of why we need to celebrate our culture. As we bring this to a close, this is me saying thank you to everyone and everybody that's out there. I don't know if I can see so many thoughts. I don't know if anybody has any question or wants to say a thing or two. We have very, very, very few minutes as we bring this to a close. And thank you to all those that have been waiting, or even those that pop in and pop out, those that watch this later. Let me know your thoughts as we bring this to a close. Thank you very much, guys. Anybody want to say anything? Wrap this up, or any questions or whatever, just let us know. Thank you, 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 thank you. Or any comments or any thoughts? Comments, you can repost them. That would be very nice, please, guys. Sanusi, thank you very much. Yeah. So as we bring this to a close, if anybody has anything, let me know, or send a message or anything, let me know. I'll bring this to a close. Please, this is me saying a big thank you to our collaborators. I'm really sorry to those companies that sent me a message. Please, I would respond to your messages. I've not sent the messages. Please, for collaborations, I will respond to them. Please, sorry about that. Yeah, this live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love, or by The Things You Love. Check them out. They have clothes, garments, human hair, whatever it is. It's spelled D for Delta, T for Tango, I for India, N for November, S for Sugar, U for Umbrella, L for Lima, U for Umbrella, then V for Victor. The Things You Love. Check them out, please, and patronize them. This 610 Homes is spelled. There are another collaborator sponsors. We do property investment in the UK, property investment in Nigeria, property development in Nigeria, shortlets in Nigeria, service accommodation in the UK. Please check out all this and do work with it. If you have cash and you don't know what to do with it, send us a DM and we're going to work something out. All right. We have exciting things coming up. We have projects on. you want to be a part of it, you don't want to do, we have collaboration, joint venture plans. Send us a message. We can be able to work something out. All right. Love Family Podcast. Please check that page out on YouTube, wherever we have podcasts coming out for families related. You can never go wrong checking them out. All right. Okay. We'll bring this to a close, guys. Thank you for your time and patience. We talked. What you've been hearing us talk about today is our roots, our pride. Our roots, our pride. In case you missed any of the sessions, please go to my YouTube page. Search for Onyekwelu ILOGE. Click on live and what's it called? And go ahead and watch. You see the title. It will say "Our Pride, Our Roots, Our Pride." All right. And you can watch it, pause and watch it, pause and watch it, pause and watch it. And don't forget, you can also share the link to someone else. You never know who is going to be blessed by it. Okay. All right. This being said, a big thank you to my team, my PA, Venus. Thank you very much. She's actually in Abuja. Thank you very much, dear. To my social media manager, Dami, God bless you. Also in Abuja, thank you very much. To my wife, amazing wife, thank you very much. To my children, a big shout out to all of them. To all my friends, my cousins, have my cousin Nana and his family over. A big thank you to all of you, to my mentors, to my colleagues in church. Thank you very much. Please let us know what your biggest takeaways are. Your biggest takeaways, put them in the comment section. Whether you're watching this later, watching this now, please let us know what they are. Next Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time, we hope to be on time. We will be discussing the same thing, our roots, something related to our roots. I don't know what it is precisely, but you'll find out. John Baba says, thank you for your time. I really enjoyed my time here today. God bless you, sir. Very much appreciated. Thank you for supporting this. All right, yeah. So please, thank you very much, sir. God bless you, John Baba. Thank you very much. All right. Don't forget everything I talked on before. If you want us to have 10 minutes conversation about your business or whatever it is, send us a DM. My free book, ebook, my paid ebooks are available, and my own book will be out soon. Please do well. You will not have them. Remember that your life is in your hand. Control your time and don't die average. This is all what I always say. All right. As I bring this to a wrap up, just to wrap up what we said. Learn from the world, but never lose yourself. Very, very important. Very, very important. Adoption should explain your identity, not to erase it. Next thing is, what you don't value, you will not preserve. Heritage survives because somebody deliberately decides it must. The third thing is that pride is not pretending everything is perfect. Nobody ever said that. You can criticize what is wrong and still fight to preserve what is right. The last thing I want to say as we wrap this up is that don't just be proud of your roots. Give them something to be proud of. All right? The greatest tribute of your roots is to leave them stronger than you inherited them. Very, very important. Remember that the whole idea of why I do this is to stir a satisfaction within you, to awaken the possibilities that are in you. And that you can't, there's no way you'd have listened to me for the past 1 hour or so, and it will not stir up something in you. So if it doesn't, you need to check yourself, you need to evaluate yourself, you need to read books, whatever it is, but do it. I love what the Bible says. It says, I've seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7. So that's the saying. Make sure you're at the right place at the right time in your destiny in your life. Very, very important. So I'll wrap up by saying this. Remember that the wise always invest. Invest in ways to make you stay proud of where you come from. And if you keep doing that, you can never go wrong. This is me saying to you, Udo, peace, and I'll see you next Sunday, 7 p.m. time. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.